God. Let us go deep inside our heart, concentrate on the Divine Spirit and pray for the welfare of the whole humanity. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatar varishtaya Ramakrishna te Namah. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who has shown us the practical way to spirituality. Let us pray to him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from darkness to light, to lead us from death to immortality. Let us pray for peace all over the universe. In the last class, we have read from page 85 to 86, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Master Mahasaya was overwhelmed by the spiritual talks of Swami Sri Ramakrishna. In a very simple way but effectively, how Sri Ramakrishna gave wonderful spiritual ideas, very easy to follow, only we must desire to have that spiritual life. Without that it is not possible. So Sri Ramakrishna is pinpointing where we are making gross mistake, where we are going in a wrong direction. It is here. We are not very much interested in spirituality. We want it somehow, but we want spirituality without any effort on our part, which is impossible. Impossible. Spirituality is to be earned by one and every one and all. Each one will have to struggle. Each one will have to fight out the various forces acting against him. What I would say, there is a kind of spiritual idleness. So we are suffering and suffering and suffering. This spiritual idleness must be completely removed. We must be very active, more active than what we seem to be active in the worldly matters. To give a simple example, even one day in 7 days, how difficult it would be for us to have some spiritual ideas. Out of 100 days, with great difficulty probably, a few people would be able to come 14 days, probably that is once a week, with great difficulty. 6 days are given to the world. I am putting it in a figurative way. 1 day only we are giving to the spirituality. That is, in thinking about spiritual ideas, trying to understand them, trying to put into practice in our daily life. Unless we discuss unless we understand, how can you implement them in the life? How can your kids learn the values of spirituality? If the elders themselves do not know about them, how can the children know about them? So, Sri Ramakrishna is giving clear instructions. Be very careful about your association. It's true, God dwells everywhere. Isha-vasimidam sarvam jagat. Lord is pervading everywhere. There is not a single space without the consciousness of the Supreme Spirit. Everywhere God is present. He is present everywhere. That has been proved by a great devotee, Prahlad. Probably some of you might know or some of you might not have read it. In Bhagavad, a beautiful story of a great devotee, Prahlad, who was adoring Lord Vishnu, the Creator, with full devotion, unflinching devotion. His whole heart was given to him. His whole inner being is completely full of God consciousness, which his father would not like. His father had all demonic qualities. He was Asura, full of rajas. He wanted to enjoy power to the maximum. That was his personality. So he wanted to proclaim himself as the most powerful man in the whole universe. Who are gods? Who can dare to come before me? I myself am that. There is nothing like God somewhere else. He became so arrogant, so egoistic. So he began to scold his own dear son not to utter the name of Lord Vishnu. But then Prahlad would not stop. In fact, he told his father, "Father, why are you so much against the Divine Spirit? He is all loving, full of kindness. Why should you have grudge against him? To me, there is nobody else other than Vishnu. It is he who is creating and protecting the whole creation. It is because of him we are all able to get all our necessities in life. God is everywhere." Of course, a big story it is. Then he began to torture his son. But since he was so devoted, every time he was saved from the difficulties. Finally, the father, his name was Hiranyakashipu. What? You are again and again telling God is everywhere, everywhere. Let me see if your God Vishnu is in this pillar. If he is there, let him come and save you. I will kill you right now. So, he took out the sword and rushed towards his own son to kill him. Just then, what happened? The miracle of the miracles. The pillar got split up. From there emerged a special manifestation of the divine power. Half human, half animal, half lion. Very ferocious. He came with that special manifestation of power just to kill this demon who could not be tamed by any body. Even gods, the angels were afraid of him. My point is, how could God come through that pillar if he were not there? So, this devotee Prahlad, he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord did present through the pillar, and that is how we all came to know about it. So, Sri Ramakrishna says, no doubt water is very good. It is considered as manifestation of God itself. But on that account, we can't use all types of water for drinking. Though its essential quality is same, some water is meant for drinking, some water is meant for washing dishes. So like that, you can't use the water which is used for washing the dishes for drinking. In the same way, though God is present in all the beings, there are beings and beings. Some are wicked, some are half wicked, some are good, some are very good, some are neither good nor bad. Varieties of people. That means the manifestation of God varies in every being, varies. So one has to be careful about the association. What type of people you are associated with. That is a point he stresses again and again. So, first of all, we must cherish the desire of spirituality. Let us start from the beginning. Are we having that desire? If we don't have, let us try to cultivate. Let us not be drowned in the desires of the world. So, we should plant that desire of spirituality in our heart and see it develops nicely, properly. Take all precautions to protect. So, Sri Ramakrishna suggests that in order to protect that tender plant of spirituality, you will have to be extremely careful about your practices, about your meeting the people. And he says, one should never be associated with men of wicked nature. But then, practical difficulties are there. We are in the society. We are working in various fields. We can't do away with so many types of people. How to handle that situation? Sri Ramakrishna suggests, very good. If such occasion comes, if you see that some persons are trying to do harm to you, you just make a show of temper, make a show so that they may not hurt you. But on any account, you should not take any revengeful attitude. You shouldn't have any kind of retaliatory motives in your heart. That's very important. You can hiss. That is how he told the story of the brahmachari and the snake. Generally, all the children, they would run away by seeing the snake because it was so ferocious, it would come and attack them. But then, when it received the instruction from a brahmachari, a holy man, it didn't behave in the same way as it would. The children noticed that the snake was keeping quiet, So what they did, they began to throw stones at it. Not only that, they cut hold of its tail and made round and threw it. So all over the body it had bruises. But since that snake had received instructions from the brahmachari, it was repeating the divine name. It had developed sattvic quality. It has even forgotten how he got into that state. It has even forgotten that the children had pelted stones at him. When brahmachari came and inquired, he said, I don't know. Then he told, what is this? I only said not to injure a person. But I did not say you should not hiss. You could have hissed at them. They would have run away. So, what he said was, hissing you can do, but don't inject your poison. That is the spiritual instruction that we have to follow. Here also, with respect to so many types of people we come across in our life. Generally, Sri Ramakrishna himself classifies people in 4 ways. There are some who are ever free. There are some who are bound by the fetters of the world. And there are some who seek after liberation. And there are some who are liberated. Like this, about 4 classifications Sri Ramakrishna has made. And he gives the example of those who are ever free. There are sages, for example. He gives his, and he tells the name of Narada Maharshi, who would always move around and would sing devotional songs to invoke divine vibrations in everybody. He would always teach spirituality and all things connected with spiritual life. He is ever free. But the people who are bound by fetters of the world, they are sunk in worldliness. They get more and more deeply attached to their near ones and dear ones, and they feel they're all very real to them. Such people, being involved deeply, would not be able to get themselves free from that state of worldliness. They think they are very secure, but then they do not know how they are being led to annihilation. A person who has become too much worldly, he doesn't want to hear anything about spirituality. He doesn't want to even hear the name of God. On the other hand, he would be very happy if anybody praises him. He wants his name to be always heard. He wants self-advertisement more and more. So his whole being is concentrated on his own personality. How much he can enjoy the life. How much he can squeeze everybody. That's how his thinking goes. But in the long run, by such actions, he has ruined himself. For such people, this world itself would be like a hell. He undergoes severe suffering, various types of suffering. Anyway, but some people, by seeing the things around them, they seek to have some kind of spiritual ideas. They try to get themselves free. So they try to give up possessing anything in this world. They try to give up attachment to this, to the things of this world. About liberated souls, Sri Ramakrishna says, there are Mahatmas, holy people. They, though they live in this world, they are not entangled by it. They always meditate on the lotus feet of God. Their mind is not upon the pleasures of the world. They don't run after them. Rather, they are disgusted with such kind of sensual, degrading, demoralizing pleasures. So Sri Ramakrishna, while explaining all these different sections of people, gives the example of the fish. When the net is cast into the lake and there is bait also, so all the fish, not knowing they are trapped, rush into the net. They are caught. Some of them, somehow, they sense some danger. Immediately, they get out of the net somehow. They are not caught. But some, they think they are quite secured. Nothing to worry. They do not know afterwards the fishermen would take the net out and all of them had to be used as a food for the fishermen. So like that, we see some fish, they do not make any effort. Some of them only try to free. Some of the fish are not caught in the net at all. It is just like that our people also behave. So, is there no way? Way is there. The ways are also shown by Sri Ramakrishna. What are the ways? Again and again Sri Ramakrishna tells, come more frequently, have association with the holy people, go into solitude, think for a while about the divine spirit, try to meditate a little. Along with meditation, try to practice discrimination. And then you pray for faith and devotion, which is very important. Once you acquire that jewel, faith, we have achieved everything. Sri Ramakrishna tells that. So far we had read in the last class. Now I shall continue. Afterwards we shall have some discussion about all these points. About the bound souls, Sri Ramakrishna tells, page number 87, that is, bound souls means the people who think this world to be very real, more real than themselves, so much attached to this world. The bound souls are tied to the world by the fetters of woman and gold, that means lust and wealth. They are bound hand and foot, thinking that lust and wealth will make them happy and give them security. They do not realize that it will lead them to annihilation. When a man thus bound to the world is about to die, his wife asks, "Well, you are about to go, but what have you done for me? Have you kept any fixed deposit? After you are passing away, what about my fate?" Again, such is his attachment to the things of the world, that when he sees the lamp burning brightly, he says, "Dim the light, too much oil is being used." He must know he is on the deathbed. Even at that last hour, he doesn't think of God. That is the nature of the bound souls. The bound souls never think of God. If they got any leisure, they indulge in idle gossip and foolish talk. Foolish, utterly foolish. Or they engage in fruitless work. They perhaps start playing cards. How true it is. How true. We must open our eyes. That means our inner eye. We should awaken by these ideas. What? We must take immediately corrective steps. When Sri Ramakrishna said all these things, there was deep silence in the room. Everybody was attentive. Then a devotee asked a question, "Sir, is there no help then for such a worldly person?" Then Sri Ramakrishna answers, "Certainly there is. Here is the hope. The Mahatmas, they come, they give hope. They ask us to follow. But if we don't follow, then what's to be done?" That means we are not serious about our question. If you are serious about asking the way, when the way is shown, you must proceed in that way. Is it not? So Sri Ramakrishna tells, from time to time he should live in the company of holy men, and from time to time he must go into solitude to meditate on God. Furthermore, he should practice discrimination and pray to God, "Give me faith and devotion." Once a person has faith, he has achieved everything. There is nothing greater than faith. To Kedar, one of the devotees, Sri Ramakrishna said, "You must have heard about the tremendous power of faith. It is said in the Purana that Sri Ramachandra, who was God himself, the embodiment of absolute Brahman, had to build a bridge to cross the sea to Ceylon. But Hanuman, trusting in Rama's name, cleared the sea in one jump and reached the other side. He had no need of a bridge." All laugh. Once a man was about to cross the sea. Vibhishana wrote Rama's name on a leaf, tied it in a corner of the man's wearing cloth, and said to him, "Don't be afraid, have faith and walk on the water. But look here, the moment you lose faith, you will be drowned." The man was walking easily on the water. Suddenly he had an intense desire to see what was tied in his cloth. He didn't know what Vibhishana had done, so curiosity made him to open and find out. He opened it and found only a leaf with the name of Rama written on it. Then he made a comment. "What is this? Just the name of Rama?" Finished. As soon as doubt entered his mind, he sank under the water. If a man has faith in God, then even if he has committed the most heinous sins, such as killing a cow, killing a priest or a woman, he will certainly be saved through his faith. Let him only say to God, "O Lord, I will not repeat such an action," and he need not be afraid of anything. When he had said this, the master sang, "If only I can pass away repeating Durga's name, how canst thou then, O Blessed One, withhold from me deliverance, wretched though I may be? I may have stolen a drink of wine, or killed a child unborn, or slain a woman or a cow, or even caused a priest's death. But though it all be true, nothing of this can make me feel the least uneasiness. For through the power of thy sweet name, my wretched soul may still aspire even to Brahmanhood." Pointing to Narendra, the master said, "You all see this boy?" Referring to Vivekananda. "He behaves that way here. A naughty boy seems very gentle when with his father, but he is quite another person when he plays in the Chandni." Narendra and people of his type belong to the class of the ever-free. They are never entangled in the world. When they grow a little older, they feel the awakening of inner consciousness and go directly towards God. They come to the world only to teach others. They never care for anything of the world. They are never attached to lust and wealth. The Vedas speak of the Homa bird. It lives high up in the sky, and there it lays its egg. As soon as the egg is laid, it begins to fall. But it is so high up that it continues to fall for many days. As it falls, it hatches, and the chick falls. As the chick falls, its eyes open. It grows wings. As soon as its eyes open, it realizes that it is falling and will be dashed to pieces on touching the earth. Then it at once shoots up toward the mother bird high in the sky. At this point, Narendra left the room. Kedar, Prankrishna M. and many others remained. "Master, you see, Narendra excels in singing, playing on instruments, study and everything." The other day he had a discussion with Kedar and tore his arguments to shreds. All laugh. To him, "Is there any book in English on reasoning?" Master Mahasaya said, "Yes sir, there is. It is called logic." Master said, "Tell me what it says." Master Mahasaya was a little embarrassed. He said, "One part of the book deals with deduction from the general to the particular. For example, all men are mortal, scholars are men, therefore scholars are mortal. Another part deals with the method of reasoning from the particular to the general. For example, this crow is black, that crow is black, the crows we see everywhere are black. Therefore all crows are black. But there may be a fallacy in a conclusion arrived at in this way. For on inquiry one may find a white crow in some country. There is another illustration. If there is rain, there is or has been a cloud. Therefore rain comes from a cloud. Still another example. This man has 32 teeth. That man has 32 teeth. All the men we see have 32 teeth. Therefore men have 32 teeth. English logic deals with such inductions and deductions. Sri Ramakrishna barely heard these words. While listening, he became absent-minded. So the conversation did not proceed far. We shall stop here. The point is, each one has received initiation from the master. Sri Ramakrishna has, for some people, he has wrote mystic syllables on the tongue, thereby awakening their spiritual. That is the power of the mantra works only where there is purity, only where there is a certain amount of personal discipline. Then only it acts upon. Each and everybody can talk. Why it not happen? It doesn't happen. But the same thing if a Mahatma tells, it happens. That is the personality. That is, you must build up your life. You must build up your spiritual life based on truthfulness, non-violence, and celibacy, purity in thought, word and deed. All these noble virtues, you must cultivate them. So once you develop these qualities, then the divine manifestation takes place there. You will feel more and more the divine power working through you. But if a person is impure, it will not manifest. That's the point. So you see, nowadays there are a lot of books which deal with the science of mantra. All the mantras are known. Then where is the necessity of receiving the mantra from the Guru? The reason is this. So that is only, simply by reading it, you will not get that transmission of power. So it should be done by a guru, a competent teacher, who could take the responsibility of the disciple and who could transmit that power, the divine power. For example, in the Ramakrishna order, the Swamis, they do initiate. But here, though they initiate the disciples, they point out at the time of initiation, your Guru is Sri Ramakrishna himself. I am only his servant. So, he is directing you to Sri Ramakrishna, connecting you to Sri Ramakrishna. So, Sri Ramakrishna's power works in you. So, from your side, the responsibility should be, you must maintain purity, you must maintain certain disciplines in the life, so that divine power which has been given to you by the Guru could manifest in all its glory. That's the point. Ashirvad is there. Without Ashirvad, the world even the creation cannot move. Ashirvad. You see, generally what the teacher would do, he would allow the disciple to do some effort to practice some spiritual disciplines, so that this mantra which was given to him could manifest its power. So he does not directly remove all the impurities in that person and immediately make him liberated. Though certain types of gurus have that power. For example, Sri Ramakrishna had that power. He could liberate any body just by touch. He could do that. But he did not do that. Because each one would feel joy by doing certain practices oneself. And Sri Ramakrishna wanted to see that each one does it himself. For example, Mathurnath, who was a very close devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, who was looking after Sri Ramakrishna's needs. He was a very good devotee. In fact, one day when Mathurnath was sitting in the veranda, he was just looking at the side where Sri Ramakrishna was living in the Dakshineshwar temple. He was just wondering, who is this Ramakrishna? Who is this Sri Ramakrishna? Just wondering. He was puzzled. And at that time somebody came with some account, something for his signature. He wanted the signature from the Madhur Baba. He did not notice that at all. His mind is fully concentrated on that direction. It so happened at that time Sri Ramakrishna was moving to and fro, back and forth in the veranda. He just gazed at him. Immediately he was wondered to see, when Sri Ramakrishna was coming in one direction, he saw him as Lord Shiva himself. He was amazed. And then Sri Ramakrishna turned and went back. When he turned the other side, he saw Sri Ramakrishna as the Divine Mother Kali. He rubbed his eyes, literally rubbed. Am I seeing a dream or what? He rubbed his eyes and felt. He felt he was really conscious. He's not dreaming. He's seeing actually. It's not a vision. Directly, with open eyes, he's seeing. So, you must know, he is so blessed in that way. How many people could have that kind of vision? How many people could have that kind of experience? But Mathurnath had that experience. What I am telling is, later, after some years, somebody asked a question, asked Sri Ramakrishna, Master, many people are coming to you for spiritual instruction and you have given spiritual treasure to whomsoever wanted. My question is whether that Madhur Babu would be liberated by your blessing, because he served you a lot. He was serving you. He did serve, and he had the vision, and he knew Sri Ramakrishna was veritable God himself. So, seeing all these things, can we conclude that, can you tell us that he would be liberated from the bondage, that he is no more to be born again? Then Sri Ramakrishna answers, no, he will have to take another birth because he has got a desire. He has to go one more birth because he has certain desire. That desire is pushing him to take the birth. So Sri Ramakrishna could have done it. He could have removed the desire. No, he didn't want to do. He did not want to do anything in an unnatural way. He wanted to see everything goes in a natural way. He doesn't want to interfere in the natural law. But he helps them. He shows them, look, like this you do. If you do it, God's grace flows, God's help will come, and you will understand, and you will enjoy, you will improve, you will develop. Wonderful. Stage by stage you will be marching ahead. True. But what I am telling is, how Sri Ramakrishna is pinpointing, what is it that makes us more and more binding, chained to this world? It is desires. But what we are doing in our daily practice, we are increasing, we are multiplying the desires. By the time we are 60 or 70 years, our mind is full of unsatiated desire. With that type of mind, how can you expect liberation? Here, as Sri Ramakrishna was pointing out, even at the last moment, any moment he may pass away, but his mind is not on God, but he is thinking, what is this? That light is burning there, that oil is, too much oil is there, etc., etc. As I told you, there are various types of gurus. For example, Holy Mother. She would certainly take all the sins of the persons whom she would initiate, and then she would help him to do spiritual practices, and out of her infinite grace, she would awaken spiritual consciousness in such people. But all the teachers are not of that same category. Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, one and the same. But Sri Ramakrishna's handling was different. He trained band of selected disciples, and he led them into the world so that they can lead all the people. They can give guidance to the whole people. So they can, but all the gurus may not be able to take that way the sins of the disciples. That's one way. Another thing is, you see, there's a relationship between the disciple and the guru also. The disciple also should understand he should see the welfare of the guru. How? By doing spiritual practices in a proper way, he'll be doing a service of looking after the guru's welfare. So it is interrelated. Guru looks after the disciple should look after the guru. But there is a spiritual connection between the two. But sometimes if they receive some of the impurities of the disciples, they have to undergo some kind of suffering to burn those impurities. Sri Ramakrishna's illness, of course, that is one of the reasons they give, burning out the impurities of the disciples. But the other thing is, it has got so many other reasons also. We can't very clearly pinpoint that it is only because of this that this was that. It's not that. We can't pinpoint that way. But various interpretations are there regarding the illness. But Sri Ramakrishna says, you see, because he practiced a lot of intense spiritual practices, the reaction when the Kundalini power awakens in the body, it rushes with a million volts power. You can imagine. So it has got tremendous reaction on the body and the nerves, etc., etc. And the body, Sri Ramakrishna had a burning sensation all over the body. Several months he was suffering by that sensation. So the body reacts according to the nature of the law, according to the nature, but he is not affected by them. Of all the people, Sri Ramakrishna, if you say he has not committed any sin, but the body behaves in its own way. And one thing is, there are two ways of explanation. One is, in order to develop the spiritual inclinations of the people, Sri Ramakrishna had to take up some of the impurities and burn them out in the form of cancer. That's what it is said.